Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another edition of the Podriplegics podcast. Today, we have an extremely special guest with us, Katlyn Verfuerth. I fucked that up, didn't I?
That wasn't bad. That was pretty good. It's Verfuerth, but right. You're right there.
Verfuerth. Spelled extremely difficult for me. And you know I'm not too good with last names as it is. So, anyway, Kaitlyn is a 3-time Paralympian in wheelchair tennis. She has 2 golds, a silver, and a bronze medal from the Para-Pan Am Games. Yes, Para-Pan Am Games.
Say that 3 times.
And she is ranked number 8 at one time, ranked number 8 in the world and number 1 in the United States. There's so many other things in here that we're going to get to talk about, and I'm not just going to list this whole paragraph off because we got to get going into it. But anyways, I think everybody understands she's extremely accomplished. She's super awesome. Miss Katlyn Verfuerth.
Perfect. Thank you, Shawn. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited to be on the podcast.
Thank you for coming in. We appreciate it. And
Absolutely.
you are right now at Ability 360, right?
I am at Ability currently. Yes, even right now at this moment, I'm at Ability 360. But yes, I do work for Ability 360. I am a program specialist here. I moved down here in September from Flagstaff, and I had been I'm a tennis teaching professional. So I got my certification. Now what I do is I run Ability 360's wheelchair tennis program. And let me tell you, since the beginning of November is when I started this, we got 30 people playing wheelchair tennis now in the Phoenix area. And Laronda is one of them. You guys are all next.
Yes, you won't go camping. No camping. You'll do tennis, but you won't go camping. I don't.
Hey, you don't know how this is working with Kaitlyn. Kaitlyn is very persuasive.
I gotta. Okay, so if I talk to Kaitlyn and she decides to go camping, maybe she can convince you to go camping.
Yeah.
I'll go camping with Kaitlyn.
Okay.
Okay. It's recorded. It is recorded.
We got it. We're Laronda, Eric,
etched in
Shawn, Don. We're all going camping.
All right, I'm up for that.
Sweet.
Yeah, I'm probably not going to be camping.
What?
You gonna glamp it? You're gonna glamp it, aren't you?
Yeah, I'll be clamping.
Shawn is worse than me, Kaitlyn. Shawn is a glamper. He's just a man for him.
But I will show up during the day and do the fun stuff.
Okay, cool. We'll get a racket. We'll get you a racket. We'll just tape it to your hand. Bam, Shawn, you'll be all over the court.
I did it last year, I think. The year before, maybe a year before. I went to like 4 or 5 practices and did it for a while, but it just became a scheduling issue for me.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we can do it whenever you want.
But it's very fun. I enjoyed it.
Cool. All right. Yeah. So you know how fun it is.
Could we tape it to both hands?
No, you got to drive with one hand. Or else you just stand there.
But still, that's the challenge, man.
Like Wario from Mario Tennis.
Yeah,
Bowser,
totally.
One in each hand.
I mean, women got to work with their long fingernails. I mean, you should have a little disability here.
I know. No, so when the first time Laronda came for her lesson, I was like, Laronda, we're gonna have to cut these things because you can't hold the racket and push the chair. So we had to trim those down.
Yeah, they're cut.
They look good. Look at that. She just played in our tournament this weekend and did fantastic.
Awesome.
She's being modest.
She did awesome.
Mm-mm.
Did you win?
Okay, I won one round.
She won a round.
One is better than none.
Well, you know what? Kaitlyn is awesome. Kaitlyn, she really is. You guys have to see this lady. This lady, what I mean, she makes you want to do. I mean, honestly, I'm not even gonna lie to you. She's never in one spot. She's always like, and I'm like, Kaitlyn, you know what I'm saying? Your eyes can't even keep up with her. That's how fast she is. And look at me, Kaitlyn, I'm gonna embarrass you. Because this is about, your tennis and you and things of that nature. So she did convince me and talk me into playing tennis this in our first tournament that she actually won for ability. And I'm gonna tell you, this girl, I turned around and she was sitting on the ground fixing tires, fixing for the wheelchair for the tennis She was like literally, I was like, is she on the ground? She was literally on the ground on her knees, changing tires.
Well, we had somebody blew their tire. We had to get them back out there, and
Yeah,
you gotta do what you gotta do, right? Gotta
Yep.
get those tires changed. I think the next thing I want to do this summer is I think everybody that uses a wheelchair should know how to change their tire. And I would love to have like a little maintenance camp or a maintenance day where we all learn how to change our casters to get that nasty hair and gunk out of your casters, and then also learn how to change a tire. I think that's so important. What do you guys think? Can we do that?
I mean,
Don't you, Don?
Yeah. I need some help with
I'm
mine.
gonna pay somebody.
All right, fine.
I change my tires all the time, actually.
Yeah,
Right.
I do too. But I think
So-
it's a really important skill. I think, you know, every wheelchair user should definitely know, or at least have tried to change their tires. Here's the thing. I am a little bit embarrassed. Somebody did ask me the other day, you know, so if you're driving on the road and you got a flat tire, I don't know how to change a car tire, which does scare me because I'm from Flagstaff. Like I've been in Flag for the last 10 years, and you know, people in Flag are super friendly and always willing to help. But here, I mean, people, it's like you're back in LA. People go fast, the cars go fast. You got 5 lanes on the freeway. No one's gonna stop and help me change a tire. So I don't know.
Kaitlyn, you better not get your ass out your car and try to change no damn tire on your car. Get AAA. Or call me and I will send AAA to you.
Yeah.
I got AAA. I got AAA. We're not.
AAA is the way to go. Yeah. Don't get out of your car. Keep it running. Stay cool.
Okay.
It's too hot.
Yeah. Because Arizona.
Too hot.
Yeah, Arizona doesn't mess around with the heat, you know. And,
No.
and you know, honestly, so I tried to change. I had a Jeep Wrangler at one point, and I had 31-inch tires, and I got a flat tire on a country road. And my friend who was with me was like, "Go for it." And I'm like, oh, geez, that tire was heavy and it was very difficult. And I was done for the day after I got done. That's all I'm going to say about that.
I mean, that's what I've never seen. Actually, I don't know anybody. I haven't met anybody with a disability that, or in a chair that has changed their tire, their own car tire. I don't think that's something I want to do. I mean, other than Eric. Eric's amazing and does everything. So,
Yes.
I don't do everything.
I'm telling you, I've heard some cool stories about some stuff you've done that sound pretty awesome. I mean, I want to see you go up the stairs. I'm telling you, I'm dying to see that. I need a video of it.
Okay. I'll get Lourdes to record that.
I need it in my life.
You go upstairs. I mean, I go downstairs, but upstairs, how the heck do you do that?
With these.
Well, Kaitlyn, you gotta tell them. Well, we do workouts together. We was right before we were doing workouts at Ability. Kaitlyn, I don't know what type of machine that was. You know the one where you pull yourself up.
Oh, that's the lap machine.
Yeah, Kaitlyn can get on there and pull herself up.
Yep.
On that, on that thing.
I'm like Monkey Woman. You know.
Yes, she is.
Okay.
Yes, she is.
When I was a kid, I used to climb trees with white. You know what a white pine is? Those big pine trees. I used to climb those. So
yeah.
And so it's just I've been doing it all my life. I've rarely lived in a house that didn't have stairs. For some reason, everyone I know has stairs in their damn house. All my friends, you need to stop. Okay, I'm just saying, stop. Family, stop. You need to
stop with the stairs.
Stop with the stairs, man.
Get over it.
So Kaitlyn, just speaking of stairs, I know where you grew up in Port Washington because I grew up near there as well. And
yes.
I know Port Washington has a lot of stairs and hills. Were you a chair user in high school, or did you have an injury?
Yeah. Yeah, so good question, Don. There are a lot of stairs in Port Washington. There's also quite a few big hills. I grew up in Port Washington, and when I was 7 years old, I was involved in a motor vehicle accident. I was sitting in the back seat of an older car. It was a Pontiac Grand Am, and it was way before they had the shoulder restraint, and I was sitting in the middle seat of the back seat, and I was just wearing a lap belt, seat belt. And my mom was driving, my brother was in the front seat, and I was sitting in the back. And I remember this vividly. I remember, I was 7, I was being a brat, and my mom's like, Kaitlyn, put your seatbelt on. And I was like, no, I don't have to. I don't know what was up my butt that day, but I was just being a little butthead. And then my brother turned around and he's like, Kaitlyn, you better put your seatbelt on. He gave me that like big brother look, like, if you don't put your seatbelt on, I'm gonna come back there and kick your ass. So I hope I can say that. Can you swear on this podcast?
Yeah, I
You
said
know,
the F word in between your first and
Okay,
last
okay,
name.
okay. All right. Just edit that out if I'm not allowed. But
No editing,
yeah.
no editing of that, man. Nope, that's going in
he
there.
he scared me or gave me that look that I was like, holy crap, I better put my seatbelt on. So the last thing I remember is I go click, and then I don't remember anything. I wake up in the car and there's blood and glass everywhere. My mom is just covered in blood. My brother, he's like screaming and yelling. And I wake up and I start like, I take off the seatbelt because I wanted to get out of the car. That was like my first instinct. And then I touched my legs, and I had shorts on that day. It was June 17th. So it was in the summer. And I was like, oh my God, I can't feel my legs. Oh my God, wait, my legs won't move. Oh my God, what am I doing? What the hell? I don't know what I said at 7, but I just remember that I was freaking out. And then I scooted across and then got to the door. I opened the door, and the paramedics are there, and they're like, don't move, stay where you are. I told them, I can't feel my legs. I can't move my legs. And they're like, don't move. And then, they get you on one of those, boards or whatever, and they get your
the
head and
backboard.
neck all, the backboard, and they get you all stationary. And it wasn't until later that night or the next day maybe that I found out that or I didn't know for another week or 2 that I would be paralyzed and that I probably would never walk again. But I did learn the next day that there was some major trauma inside. So I ended up getting a hole in my stomach and in my bowel. So they had to stick one of those, nasty tubes down your nose to like collect all that stuff. And it was like, I don't know, we called it like the snorkel or something, because it just sucks stuff up out of your stomach. And I remember that I was so scared though, because I had to have emergency surgery, and I was like, I'd rather die than have surgery. I just remember telling the doctors like, no, you don't, this is not a big deal. We're just going to go in, we're going to sew you up. You won't even know. And my mom, wasn't there. And I had no family at that time. My older brother, he was like jumping from my mom to me, to my other brother. And I went into surgery and I was fine, and I came out with this scar. And I just remember I was like, please don't cut through my belly button. I really want to keep my belly button. So I have this weird scar that like literally goes like, it's like a little C that goes on my belly button. I don't know what that was all about when I was 7, but yeah, so that was my major, trauma. That's how I ended up in the chair. And then, maybe a week or 2 later, as you guys know, if you have spinal cord injury, you're on bed rest. You can't move for a couple of weeks. I don't really remember the timeline, but I do remember the day then the doctor came in and said, well, first, they come in with that pin and like sticky stuff. And then they like poke you and they're like, can you feel this? Can you not? What does it feel like? Is it dull? Is it sharp? All that stuff. And, that's when they kind of told me after that I'd probably never walk again. And, I remember I had a really rough day that day. I remember I was like one of those crazy people screaming and yelling in the hospital, like, why me? God, this is so horrible. Why would you do this to me? And then, life goes on, and I started did my PT and went to rehab. And unlike people today, it's crazy how you only are really in the hospital for like 2 or 3 weeks after spinal cord injury. I can't believe, I was in the hospital for 45 days. So, a pretty good amount of time, but I couldn't imagine being released from the hospital just 2-3 weeks after an injury and just being thrown into life. I have no idea how people do that today. And no wonder why there's this lack of education and continuum of care, and people just get sent home with no idea about what it's like to be in a chair. And that's why, I really love what I get to do now and being here at Ability 360, because there's so many people that are playing wheelchair tennis now that had no idea there was such thing as adaptive sports. You know, I was really thankful I had my PT and my OT, and they told my parents, my mom at the time, about you know, wheelchair sports camp as a kid. So that was really my first introduction to wheelchair sports, was probably in 1995, maybe 2 years after my accident. I went to my very first wheelchair sports camp at the University of Whitewater in Wisconsin. The University of Whitewater has a really great wheelchair basketball program. And I went to my first sports camp there, and I met kids just like me that, you know, either, I remember one kid, he had gotten hurt the exact same way I did. And other kids with spina bifida, CP, you name it, other kids had it. And I think that was really where I learned how, or I found my independence, and really where I learned that through sports. You know, I really learned that if I could push down a basketball court and play defense and dribble and all that, that I could take care of myself, that, you know, I didn't need my mom or my caretaker. Like I wanted to figure out a way that I wanted to be able to be self-sufficient and independent and be able to take care of myself. So I really feel like sports and just being active really helped me realize how independent and how self-sufficient I could be. And a lot of times that got me in trouble. Like, I'll never forget my mom, we went to a Brewer game, and I never wanted anybody pushing me, because I had this, like, I was so stubborn. And my mom always throws this in my face. She's like, I'll never forget this time, you know, you were pushing up that steep ramp, and all these people were looking at me because you told me I couldn't touch you and push you. And I was like, yeah, but look where that got me today. Like, imagine if you would have folded and helped me. And then I would have just became more, you know, feel like dependent on you and other people to help me get around. And I just really wanted to be independent. And that was really important to me. And but now today as an adult, like, it's hard for me to ask help. I still really struggle with it. Like, Laronda knows, I run around this facility, and I really try to do everything by myself, and I don't need to. I mean, there's plenty of people here to help me out, but I feel like sometimes it's just me being stubborn.
Yeah, well, she actually so she hosts she runs 2 clinics, one on Monday and one on Wednesdays, right? Kaitlyn, those 2 days.
Yeah.
And a lot of us don't have chairs, like sports chairs. So Kaitlyn brings the sports chairs, and I mean, she brings like 8 or 9 chairs. You know, she loads these chairs up. You know, people know that she needs help, but you will see her pushing through the parking lot with like 4 chairs, a tennis thing on her lap. I mean, and we're like, Kaitlyn, like Kaitlyn. And she can park her car or her truck right there in front of Ability and unload, but no, she'll park it in the parking structure. And she takes these chairs. And then people see her bringing in the chairs. They be like, Kaitlyn, you need help unloading these chairs. And she's like, only got 2 legs. Only got 2. What the hell? So she that's why I love Kaitlyn. Kaitlyn is one of my favorite people. And I couldn't wait until, to get her on here and get her. So, we can everybody. I can share the greatness of Kaitlyn. I want to know about how did you get involved with the Paralympics?
Yeah, we got a lot to unpack. We got a time out here. We got a lot to unpack.
There's a lot.
There was a ton that of information you just digested in our way, and I think that there's some stuff that needs to. So you were 7?
I was 7. Just a baby.
And so, how long have you been? Are you a T? What's your level?
I'm a T11 L1. So like my right side, I'm an incomplete. My right side, I have a little bit more feeling and movement. Not much. I just have my hamstring, and then my left side is just I have nothing on the left side. So it's so crazy too. You learn like how different. Like there was a kid at that sports camp that I was talking about. We got injured the exact same way, and he is actually the complete opposite. Like his left side has a little bit more movement, and his right side's like has nothing. It's bizarre. It's just crazy.
Yeah. And so you were in Wisconsin at the time, and it was an auto accident. Did you guys have auto no fault stuff there or no?
No. What do you no. We hit
it's like
actually
an insurance. It's insurance.
We hit a semi truck full of lumber logs. And I just remember like waking up in the car and there was just like lumber logs all over the highway. And I don't really remember. Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. I really don't know.
No, I just wondered if that was the insurance situation there, because I know Michigan, Illinois, Wisconsin, and it's a whole thing. Anyways, sorry. We can move past that. We're gonna get to the Paralympic stuff, but I wanted to unpack some of this background stuff before we move on past it.
Yeah.
And then you said at the time you were 7, so your parents, were your parents okay? I mean, and by the way, thank you for being so open and honest about your story.
Yeah, for sure. Everybody survived. Everybody's okay. If you looked at my mom today, you would have no idea, but the engine of the car literally fell into her lap, and she has all rods in her legs, no kneecaps, and she's so lucky they were able to save her legs. It was crazy because the time of our accident, there was a team of these doctors from Japan, and they were studying some kind of tissue regrowth and doing research, and they happened to be at Freighter Hospital in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And my mom comes in from this accident, and they were able to try this new research, and they were able to save both of her legs. If they were not there, she would be definitely an amputee or something like that. So thankfully, they were able to save her legs, her face, all facially reconstructed. Her spleen and liver were like hanging out. I just remember it was pretty gory with my mom. She was very lucky to be alive. My brother was super lucky. He just had a lot of glass and stuff that was in his face and in his arms. They were able to go in and he had a bunch of plastic surgery to get that removed. Me, I was so lucky. I mean, not a single scratch on me. Just I broke my back, had that internal stuff that happened. And I'm just lucky to be alive. Otherwise, if I didn't put that seatbelt on, I would have been through that windshield for sure. I was sitting right in the middle.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's strange with how those little pieces, those little things that happen to you like that, through your accidents and injuries and stuff. So we'll work out at high school. You played high school sports, right?
Yeah. So that was my thing. So I played wheelchair basketball. Everybody after they have an injury, they're always introduced to wheelchair basketball. That's like the first, and I loved it. Like absolutely loved it. That was my thing. We had a basketball hoop above our garage, and I would spend all day in the summer just rolling. Like my neighborhood friends, boys and girls would come over to my house. We played basketball all day long. And I was obsessed, but when I got to high school, I really wanted to have that Letterman jacket. That was so important to me. All my friends, they were on the swim team, track and field, whatever it was. And they all wore that Letterman jacket. And I remember being a freshman, I was like, I want a Letterman jacket and I want to compete in something. I want to feel part of something. And so, it was all kind of coincidence. Literally my 7th or 8th grade, when I was in 7th or 8th grade, my mom and I were at the mall. We were at Mayfair Mall in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And this lady comes up to me, and she was a tennis instructor, and her name was Jackie. And she was like, hey, you look like you're active and, like you're sporty or whatever. She's like, have you ever tried wheelchair tennis? And I was like, no, I didn't even know it was a thing. So she invited me to this clinic, and I show up. I loved it. And I also kind of felt bad because the other people at this clinic I was definitely like a higher ability level than a lot of them. And so, right away after the clinic, I was like, Mom, my brother was there, my mom was there. And I was like, I really want to take lessons. Let's do this. I want to get better at this sport. And then once I started taking lessons from Jackie, we learned about the 2-bounce rule. So the best part about wheelchair tennis and why I love it so much and why it's such a great sport for people with disabilities is that the only rule difference is that wheelchair players allowed 2 bounces. So I can play on my high school team. I can play on any USTA league. You can play with non-disabled players, and they get 1 bounce, I get 2 bounce, and that kind of levels the playing field. So I played my high school team. We were kind of like, the bad news bears, I would say. We weren't that great. So I got to play varsity, singles and doubles, all my from freshman year all the way to senior year. And I remember I would beat some girls, and I remember they wouldn't come to my, at the end of the match, everybody comes to the net and you shake hands. And I remember some girls wouldn't come to the net. They didn't want to shake my hand, and they would just go off to the corner and cry to their coach and be like, just can't believe I lost to a girl in a wheelchair. And my coach is over there. My coach, he was so cool. He was this older gentleman named Mr. Heck. And he would just be over there laughing. He's like, oh, that's so funny. You're so good. And da, da, da. And so, I never took it personal or anything like that. He always, was like, don't take it personal. He's like, you're just a good athlete. And, I had those wheelchair basketball skills. I was able to just really run the ball down and just get it back. I still really didn't know what I was doing. I just got the ball back and play. So it was hard for a lot of those girls. They would play me and they'd be like, or I would throw them off, or they'd come to the net and be like, that 2 bounces, it really throws me off. And that's why I lost. So they'd always have an excuse. And I just really never let that get to me though. And I think it was like my junior year of high school. I went to my very first wheelchair tennis tournament. My coach was telling me about it, and it was in St. Louis, Missouri. And I played women's A, and I got my ass kicked. I didn't win a single game I think I maybe won one game or something like that. And then I was like, maybe this isn't for me, but the luck of it all, there was the national USA coach there, and his name was Dan James, and they invited me to a junior training camp. And that's kind of the story from there. I went to camp. I learned a lot more about my technique and how to hit the ball, and more about strategy, and my level of tennis kind of really jumped up quite a few levels once I got proper training. And not that Jackie, wasn't helpful, but I mean, she definitely helped me get the start, so and then that's kind of really where my career took off. I played a lot of juniors tennis. I went to a pretty notorious and big deal tournament for the juniors called Les Petites As, which is a big tournament in France. I won that couple of years in a row as a junior, and then my name kind of got out there, and then I went into the women's division and just started kicking ass. Yeah.
Now I think we've made it to yours, Laronda. I didn't mean to cut you off by any means. I think that we were trying to build up to that, get to it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I'm just so excited that she's here. I'm so excited.
Oh, Laronda, I love you. Thank you for asking me to be here. This is exciting.
Mm-hmm.
So then let's see. So I played on the women's team, and I was 17 years old. I was probably the youngest at that time. I started beating all the women, and they didn't like that so much. I was taking their spot, and I remember my first Paralympics was in Athens, Greece in 2004, and I beat out a couple women, and they had been training hard and really were planning to go to the Paralympics, and I took their spot. So I went as the youngest in history for wheelchair tennis to go. So that was pretty exciting. And hey, I was just stoked to be there. I really didn't expect much. I had an okay draw. I think I won a round. I lost second, and I lost the second round in my singles. And then in the doubles, me and my doubles partner, we made it to the quarterfinals. And we made it there. So that was pretty exciting. And then I continued to play on tour. So the cool thing about wheelchair tennis is we have a tour just like the ATP and the WTA, which is the professional men's and women's able-bodied tour. And we pretty much kind of follow them around, and, they'll go from tournament to tournament, and we kind of go from tournament to tournament. So you can literally pre-COVID, you could play a wheelchair tennis tournament every single week of the year if you wanted to. And it really starts, it really goes on. There's really no downtime except for maybe during Christmas and the holidays. But in January, you'll be down in Australia, New Zealand, playing a tour down there for about a month and a half. And then you'll cruise over to America and play tournaments in California, and then kind of here in Arizona, and then travel over to not Alabama, like Louisiana and Florida. And then everybody will head over to Europe for the summer and play. You'll play tournaments all through Europe, and then kind of circle back over here to the US and then to Japan. And you can play anywhere all over the world. Wheelchair tennis is super popular overseas. It's big in Europe, like really big. If you're a wheelchair tennis player, people know who you are. Unfortunately, here in the States, it's not as big. Yeah.
Kaitlyn, are you training for the upcoming Paralympics, or is it?
I actually, so I haven't told Laronda this. I decided kind of yesterday.
Oh man, Laronda got all mad.
Oh.
What do you mean?
Oh God, I haven't
Breaking news.
told anybody.
Breaking
So
news.
actually so I decided to retire from the Paralympics, from playing wheelchair tennis in 2016 after Rio. And I really wanted to give back to the game. I want to see more players out there. I want to see more people competing, especially women. Like, we need more women. There's tons of men playing wheelchair tennis. So I decided that I was going to get my teaching credentials, and I just teach wheelchair tennis. I don't really play very much. I'll play a tournament here and there for fun, but I really, really love giving back to the game and seeing other people get out on the court and play. But during this time at Rio in 2016, I was at the opening ceremonies, and I happened to sit next to the head Paralympic coach of the para canoe team. And I love kayaking. I love canoeing. I've always done it on the side. Growing up in Wisconsin, we would always go up north and canoe and the Milwaukee River all the time. We would take our kayaks out. So I don't know, I love being on the water. So I start talking to this coach, and para canoe was just introduced at the Rio Games. It was brand new. And I was like, hey, her name's Deb Page. And I was like, hey, Deb, I really am interested. What do I got to do? What's the difference between, what is the difference between, kayaking and I'm just in this plastic kayak. I had no idea what sprint kayak was or canoe is. And in the summer of 2017, I flew out to her house in Satellite Beach, Florida. I got myself in the first time into this like sprint kayak boat. It's like the skinniest little boat. You turn over one way, you're dumping. Like, this thing, it's about 17 feet long. It's made to go fast on flat water, and you do kind of short or long distance. 200 meters, 500 meters, and 1,000 meters are distances. So I start getting in this boat. I fall in love with it. And 2018, 2019, I get invited to a couple training camps overseas. Hungary is, there's a lot of sprint paddlers in Hungary, and I get invited to this TIP training camp. It's like talent identification or something. I don't remember what it means, something like that. So I go, they teach me all the technique, how to paddle, and I'm getting fast, I'm getting good. So I go to Worlds in 2019 in Hungary. I come in 7th. I've only, mind you, really, I've only paddled in this boat maybe a span of 2 months, but it's kind of been over like 2 years, but really I've only spent like 2 months in the boat. And I come in 7th. These other athletes have been training their butts off for this because for 2019, they were selecting the top 6 to get quotas to go to the Paralympic Games. Well, I come in 7th, so I'm just 1 behind. So 2020, obviously COVID happened, so there's nothing's going on. And then 2021 happens. I'm here in Ability. Life is great. I am fulfilled. I am like, you know what? Maybe I'm just going to put that dream on hold and let's think about Paris 2024. Well, I get a call literally last weekend from my coach, and all the things that had to happen happened. They were racing for the quota like 2 weekends ago in Hungary again, and one girl goes out of her lane, which disqualifies you. This other girl flips her boat, which disqualifies you. So now they have 2 spots open for the Baja, and that's my other. So there's a canoe with an outrigger. So I do both the kayak and an outrigger canoe. And so the outrigger canoe, it's called the Baja, is going to be its first debut in the Tokyo Paralympics. This is going to be the first time there's ever going to be a race. So it's kind of a big deal. It's a history moment. And so there's 2 spots open. So they, of course, are going to take the next best time, which was from 2019, which was me and this other girl from India. So I had all last week kind of like thinking about, what am I going to do? I haven't really been training. I've been really focused on this tennis program. But, I'm like, hey, what the heck? If this is the way to do it, this is the way to do it. So I kind of decided literally like yesterday that I'm going to do this. So this summer I will be training. I will be going to Tokyo. I got a ticket. Here we go. I'm going to be going on. You can find me at Tempe Town Lake early in the morning. I'll be out there training. So I am going to Tokyo, but in a completely different sport.
Wow, congratulations. That's awesome.
Congratulations.
Look,
Thanks.
and we heard it first. We heard it first here on our podcast.
Yes.
I'm so
World
excited for
exclusive
you.
right here.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, literally this is my kind of first announcement of it, I guess. I haven't even posted it on any social media or anything like that. So yeah, I'm super excited. I'm pumped. I'm working on getting my training schedule together. I got some coaches coming out here to work with me. Be going to San Diego a little bit this summer to do some training camps, and I'm just gonna get as fast as I can before the beginning of September. My event's the 3rd and the 4th. Yeah. I know. I feel like I have diarrhea of the mouth. I'm just blah, 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 like spitting out words. I apologize. I just, there's so much I'm trying to get in.
It's exciting. This is good stuff.
Yeah, Eric, Laronda, Don, and
I do have a question.
go ahead.
Yeah.
How did you afford this? Because when I went to the Paralympics, it took quite a bit of money, and
Oh yeah.
I went to 2 nationals, 1 regionals, and 3 nationals, and you know, that was a lot of money, especially when I was in college. So my question is, how are you doing this? Do you have sponsorships? What do you got?
So there's a couple grants that I've obviously the Challenge Athletes Foundation back in like 2019 helped me get to Worlds. And then there's the Kelly Brush Foundation. They helped me get my boat. And then other little grants here and there. I know like the Ability 360 grant I was going to apply for this year for the boat, but then I was like, you know what, there's other little grants and things that help me out. I also got a really nice check from a local sponsor up in Flagstaff. They were willing to help me out back in 2019. It was a law office, so that was pretty awesome. So yeah, it was just kind of getting my story out there. People were willing to help out, and Flag is, you know, such a great small town community. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, no, I wouldn't have been able to do it without the help of those other people, or those, you know, those grants are huge to really help a lot of athletes get places.
Yeah.
And then recently I just got an email in my mailbox that I just filled out on Friday that Toyota is giving $3,000 stipend to all Olympic and Paralympic athletes training currently right now for Tokyo to help us, you know, get our stuff together. So that's really going to help with me getting out to San Diego and training. And it's also going to help with, you know, any other costs that I incur. But going to Tokyo, the USOC is going to pay for that. So I don't have to pay for those costs. But the US OPC and the ACA, which is the American Canoe Association, they're really gonna put some money in towards me, so that's really gonna help. But yeah, it's hard, dude. It's so hard without those grants and without that support. You know, there's no way we can do it. And people think that, you know, Olympians and Paralympians, they assume like we have this so much money, but really Olympic and Paralympic athletes are the most poorest people. Like we're just. Oh, yeah. Some days I'm just scrunching to get by. How many, you know, got like $6 in my bank account right now.
Well, you all know. Blessings on blessings, that's for sure. You know?
Right, exactly.
And the reason why I wanted
energy, you put out good vibrations, they come back in a plenty, don't they?
Yeah, exactly.
Really
yeah.
I appreciate, thank you very much for sharing that, because, you know, anyone that's listening to this right now, because we have a world community that's starting to listen to the Podriplegics. We got people from Italy, go Italy. You guys rock. They listen to us. So the point that I really want to push home is it's out there. You have to run for it, but the funding is out there. And, you know, listen to what Kaitlyn has said, some of the grants out there, especially here in the US, there's some grant money available, you know, and there are people out there willing to help. You just have to put yourself out there. So
yeah. Absolutely. And even like, you know, with my tennis program here at Ability 360, you know, I got a couple players right now that are really, really, you know, they've been using our program chairs that, you know, thankfully Ability 360, we have amazing chairs that that we can lend out and rent out to our participants. And that's also just a really great way for people to, anybody, in the Arizona or Phoenix area, if there's a sport or something they want to get into and they need a sports chair, Ability 360 or places like, or Southern Arizona Adaptive Sports, they also have a good amount of sports chairs that people can come and try and, see what it's like to get in a sports chair. Because a lot of people, especially after their injury, they have no idea. Like, I couldn't believe it. Just with my program, I've had a couple, actually, like quite a few people, I think even Laronda, really, honestly, like they'll say like, this is my first time in a sports chair. And I'll be like, how many years have you been hurt? And they'll be like, oh, I don't know, 10, 15, 20. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. This is your first time in a sports chair. And I'm just like, the first time I got in a sports chair, like my whole world just opened up. Like, like once you realize how quickly you can move and how agile you can be, like, man, like I just can't believe it. How many people, have no idea.
Well, that's why it's so important, Kaitlyn, to get out there and things of that nature. Because yes, I did, and I've been my injury. Oh Jesus, I realized, 32 years, I want to say. And 2 years ago, I would say 2.5 years ago, is when I actually seen a chair and actually knew about the sports and just different things of that nature. So yeah, it's important. It's really, it's really, really important. So
yeah, it's and so I'm also currently in school. I'm getting my master's degree to be a recreational therapist. And my main thing, like I want to get into that hospital. I want to get into, children's hospital or, any hospital. And I just want to get to kids right away, like, or, adults, people that, just have an injury or an illness or acquire a disability and be like, life isn't over. I think, people think like, damn, excuse my language, but fuck, like I'm in a fucking wheelchair. What the fuck am I supposed to do now? And I think people don't know. And like PTs and OTs, they do the best they can to get you in the right direction. But if there isn't somebody like a rec therapist or, an activities coordinator, somebody really pushing at that person to get them involved in sports, they have no idea. And not only that, but it just help somebody realize like what potential they actually do have. Like my first time I got in the sports chair, I was like, oh, I can still do this. Like I can get around. It's not hopeless, and I don't know. That's really where my heart's at. So that's where I want to be someday.
And did that help you deal with like all the stresses that comes with being injured? I think that's what I think is so important, just that, to be able to have something to grab. I could just imagine how my life would have been if somebody introduced me to something when I first got into my chair, or my first injury, when my injury happened. I could just imagine, the possibilities. But, like I said, I always feel like, we're the forgotten, but, like I said, now, you got people like Kaitlyn, we got the podcast, Eric doing the podcast. It means so much, to get it out there and just, I mean, it's just awesome. It's awesome. And just imagine how many children, young women or just individuals that are new to their injury that is going to see this or hear this and be like, man, my life isn't over, because we really think that, our life is over sometimes.
Yeah.
And all the people that play football, like we had Joe on, or rugby and just different stuff like that. And how that, our life isn't over. We live a full life. We just need a little adaptive. So.
Yeah. I'm right with you. And like, I always remember, like, even as a kid, like I would tell people, and I still tell people to this day, like, there's nothing that I don't think I can't do. The only thing I can't do is walk. And like, I still tell people that, like, I can do anything that I want to, or anything that I put my mind to. It's just, I might have to do it a little bit differently, or some kind of modification or adaptation. But, people are like, and then, like, when you say that to them, they're like, huh? Like, they don't get it, and I'm just like, that's what I believe. And you know, attitude is really everything. You know,
Mhm.
if you have a crappy attitude, you know, if you're gonna be, you know, bummed out and just like down and depressed and on yourself, like you're not gonna get anywhere. You got to change your attitude. And I think from day one, that was like where I was like, I am not gonna let this stop me, and I'm gonna have, you know, the best attitude. And of course, we all have bad days, because without bad days, you can't have good days. That's what I believe in. So, but it's really all about attitude. And so even if deep down I feel like shit, I still got a smile on my face. You know,
All the
what I miss,
time,
guys?
all the time.
Welcome
you
back.
know, we all know.
Well,
You know, we're all there. We're on that page, and you know, we all, you know, fuck, I mean, I still shit my pants. I still piss my pants.
Mhm.
I still got a smile on my face.
It happens.
Yeah.
Right.
It happens. It
all.
really does. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
we're all
I
very
think
human here.
look, I know I kind of got cut off. I got ousted, or my internet went out or something, but I came back in at the right time, because I think it's very important that you just said what you just said.
Yep.
After all of this, and everybody sees that you are successful in all these different things, you're athletic, you have all these different pursuits, right? At the end of the day, you still have pair problems and quad problems, right?
Yep.
Heck yeah.
I mean, you got SCI problems just like all the rest of us, and you can make that happen, since then so can we. So
Heck yeah. I mean, Laronda knows, like back in March, I was loading this is it. I was loading some chairs up in my car. I was like going in my car. I accidentally sat on like that buckle that pulls down your latch. I got a freaking like, I don't know, like weird ball in there, like the size of this like little tumor thing. And I was like, fuck, I'm going to get a pressure sore. So I was like, I'm unstoppable though. I was like, my coworker, she brought in this mattress. I'm laying on the ground. I still come to work. I'm like, I'm not going to let this stop me. It sucks.
She had a
But you
mattress. She had a computer. She had a computer on the floor with a mattress because she refused to stay home. And I go to the back and I'm like, Kaitlyn, are you? So she wouldn't. Yes, she had a mattress at work on the floor with her computer working with a bomb butt.
Life don't stop. Life don't stop. I mean, I was really lucky. I got off it in time. It didn't blow out to be a big thing, but I got problems too. I mean, it doesn't, you know, I still got my problem. We still have those same problems. It sucks.
yeah.
We still have our bowel programs. We still
Yeah.
have all the
Yeah.
things that we have to do.
You
Yeah.
know,
I got days where I'm texting Nick like, hey man, I'm going to be late. I can't shit right this.
Well, I'm telling you, right?
You know,
Yeah.
some days it just doesn't want to go. I don't know what
Yeah.
that's all about.
Yeah, it's rough. It's rough business
Right.
sometimes.
Right. But
I
you- but
I think that we should always have at least an hour cushion onto whatever it is time schedule we need to be.
I am
Because
so glad. I am so glad you brought this up, because I call it wheelchair time. I tell my husband, I call it wheelchair time. I tell everybody like, hey, I'm going to be late. It's wheelchair time. I also think that any person with a disability should be able to use the carpool lane. Come on.
so we can get home fast.
Yeah,
There
I'm
you
there.
go.
I'm
Yes.
there.
Yes. I'm with you, Kaitlyn, on that. I never thought about that.
I think that's like the next law we need to change. Seriously.
Right. Just imagine how many piss accidents or I could have avoided if I was in a carpool lane.
Yeah. When I'm president, I'm just kidding. I don't want to be president, but that is what's going to happen.
I'm voting for you on that.
You
On that
know,
alone.
Caitlyn,
I would do it.
you brought up something that's really close to my heart within the community, and that is you're married and you have a husband. And I know dating and having relationships in the disability field, I mean, it's not easy. And so do you have any advice for everyone on just relationships and how to kind of manage that whole thing? I'm sorry I'm putting you on the spot, but this is like one of those things that
No.
It's good.
This is a good subject. I mean, it's a pretty good subject. Greg and I wish I grabbed it. It's on my desk. I'm in another office right now, but Greg and I were on the cover of the New Mobility magazine back in 2014, where we're like pictured and like we're naked, but we're not naked. But it was, I don't know, it's pretty taboo because like, you know, people assume or think that people with disabilities, you know, they don't have sex, or, you know, that
they're
they can't have
asexual.
sex.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And Lauren Worthington, who I mean, you guys all know, famous photographer here for Ability 360, he took that photo. And I remember like the New Mobility magazine like sent out this post on like Facebook or something, and they had us naked, like looking like we're naked. They had us with clothes on, and then they had us with something else, but we had clothes on. And they were asking, you know, everybody on social media, like which should be the cover, and everybody voted the one that we were naked, because it was like kind of taboo and like, ooh, risque. And I was like, oh, fuck, like my mom is like, you know, being from Wisconsin, where people are definitely like kind of conservative. And I still, to this day, I don't think my mom has read the article or the story in there, but we get a little detailed, a little risque, and talk about our sex life a little bit. But I'm gonna say that it sucks. I gotta say, unless I have I remember in college, like, unless I had a couple of drinks, I wouldn't be able to go up to a dude that I thought was attractive in a bar or a club or wherever I was, because, you know, I'm self-conscious, and I'm in a wheelchair, and, you know, what guy is going to want to be with me because I have a disability? Laronda, I mean, I'm sure you know exactly what I'm talking about. It sucks. And I remember like going out a lot in college, and I would get some horrible comments, because I would go out with my girlfriends, and guys would be like, I've got everything from like, you're such a waste of pretty, to like, you're not really in a wheelchair. Get out of that thing. I don't believe it, because you look too normal to be in a wheelchair. To I mean, everything under the sun. I've gotten some crazy
pretty, but
yeah, you're beautiful and pretty, but, you know, this isn't gonna work for me. Or, you know, the first thing will come out of their mouth is, you know, can you still have sex? Can you feel it? Like all the, you know, all those curious things that people, can you have a baby? And, you know, I think I always, before I met Greg, I always wished or wanted or not wished, or I wished, yeah, I did. I wish that I was a male in a wheelchair, because you guys got it made, because the freaking female is so caring and loving and nurturing and wants to take care of that male, and you guys play that role. And as a female, it's opposite. Like, no man wants.
Yes, Kaitlyn. Yes. She's the second woman that feels that way, that's disabled. I'm just saying, Kaitlyn.
That's not completely true, though. Come on now. I grew up with my disability, and I had that same type of stuff go on, Kaitlyn. When I was in college, I went on dancing all the time. I had people that wouldn't even give me the time of day. I was always the special friend. You know, I was the friend. They would say, "Oh, can I sit in your lap?" And then that's all the further it ever went. You know, and it was like.
But Eric, if you would have played your part, you could have got the pussy. I mean, honestly, I'm going to be honest, Shawn.
I'm staying out of this one.
Yeah, Shawn.
It's when.
If he would have played the part, he would have got the pussy. Women don't think like that. Women, they would have gave you the pussy just OGP, if you know what that means.
Sure.
But, you know, you could have got the pussy, but you just didn't play the part.
I think 5 years ago, I would completely 100% agree with that statement. But I feel like times have changed a little bit now with the old swipe dating. It gets a little more difficult. But I think overall, yes, I think if Eric would have played his cards right.
So you are siding. You said you wanted to get in the middle of this. What the hell? Throw me under the bus. What the hell?
And Eric, I'm here to tell you, there is not one, every male that I know that is disabled or uses a chair, they're either married or they have a woman. You know what I'm saying? And it's just what it is. Or just recently this, or, you know, every man I know that is disabled, I think I can say every man, probably a couple here and there, but probably 90% of the men, and then the women be bad. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like, I mean, some nice, beautiful women. You know what I'm saying? Very attractive, the whole 9 yards. Y'all gonna be having a booger whoopers coming up to you. They ain't got no job or, you know, busted shoes. It's what it is.
Did you just say booger wolf?
I know you.
Yeah. I just have to look. I feel so passionate about this. So now I'm going to look what my fun.
You know,
Kaitlyn, ain't that true?
Look,
Ain't it true?
It's true.
I think you got
It's
a
so
point,
true.
and I think you probably skew to more, correct. But it's not always the case. There's some very uncompassionate women out there. Let me tell you.
Yeah, there really are.
I am okay. I am sure there are, just like there are some very compassionate men. There's just far and few that are not. I don't know, and I'm sure. But seriously, you guys, like the woman's role is to be loving and nurturing and caring and taking care of and just I was always envious of, because like I went to U of A, I went to University of Arizona, and I was really a big part of their, adaptive athletics program. So a lot of the people that I hung out were also people with disabilities or were chair users, and all the dudes would always bring home ladies. And like, I was like, what do I gotta be? Do I gotta be a lesbian? Because I mean, if I gotta get some love, maybe that's what I gotta do.
And ain't that true, Kaitlyn? Because if
It's
you
so
see
true.
any of the lesbians that are disabled, they got some pussy too.
Yep. I mean, it's
the
just
truth.
It's just
the truth.
It's just our makeup. It's our DNA. It's the way women and the way men were made, and like that's just the way it is. But
okay,
relationships. I've had a lot of different. I've dated people with disabilities, people without disabilities. I'm with somebody right now that just doesn't have a disability. He doesn't have a physical disability. He's got some some screws are loose sometimes. Just kidding. But no, Greg, I love Greg.
Greg's gonna see this, right?
I'm
not editing this out.
No, of course he knows. I know. I love Greg. But there is something. I've been in a long-term relationship with another guy that was in a chair, and man, I can't believe looking back that we were together for like 8 years, and I still sometimes like can't believe I put up with all that. Like, who's gonna put my chair in the car? It would take us like 30 minutes just to get in the car to go because like he'd put my chair in, and then he'd have to put his chair in, and then I was just like, geez. And then when we get to the restaurant or whatever, it's like another 20 minutes to get out of the car, and then all those little nuances. Or I'm like, hey babe, can you reach? No, you can't reach it. I'm gonna crawl. Like, it's nice to have a person with legs. That's all.
Yes, Kaitlyn. Come on, Kaitlyn. You're preaching, Kaitlyn. I got cussed out. You remember, Eric, we did that panel? We did the panel, and that man got so mad at me.
Why?
Because he asked me would I date a person in a wheelchair.
Oh, that's
and
right.
I
I said
told
no.
him, no, yeah, you remember? Yeah. And you, girl, he let me, he was very upset with me because I said that.
He wanted to go on a date with you. That's what he wanted to do.
If he was
saying there's no chance?
If he was an amputee,
amputee all day.
Sean, you're a little different. Look, Shawn a little different. I get Shawn to go. I told you Shawn got the juice. You know what I'm saying? But amputee, it's the eyes. It's the eyes, Shawn. But I mean, amputee and Shawn with that swag. Look, you have to throw that in there.
That's soft flex.
Yeah,
That's what does it. It's a
look
soft
at me, y'all
flex.
got me grabbing my pillow. I'm grabbing the pillow.
Oh
God!
you got my face hurting right now.
Right. But you
I'm all
can get
red.
it. Ain't that right, Kaitlyn? We'll give it the amputee. We can give it to you. Get the business.
Sure. For sure. You can. Yeah. I mean, it's gotta be, I do know couples that are both, chair users, and, they've been together for years and they love each other and they make it work. But it's love is love. It doesn't matter. That's the other thing. Love is love, whether you're, have a disability, you're gay, you're straight, or whatever. It's love is love. And I don't think it should matter, but it's nice to be with someone with legs. That's all.
Yeah, it's hard, right? It's gotta be hard. That's gotta be a hard thing.
Well, it's nice that you're willing to follow that. So
Okay,
Right, come on, Kaitlyn. Preach, girl. Preach, Kaitlyn. No, she telling the truth. Come on, Kaitlyn. Come on.
No, but I just gotta say,
Poor
I think
Greg.
I know, poor Greg, but growing up in high school, I had a high school sweetheart, and his name was Adam, and in Wisconsin, and he was a dairy farmer. He had the biggest dairy farm in Ozaukee County, and I thought, when I was young, I was dumb and I was naive, and I thought, I was going to be, this dairy farmer's wife. And, once I started playing tennis and traveling the world, I got that taste of what it's like to be outside of, a small town. And
it's nice, isn't it?
It is nice. So
Kaitlyn, you threw me off when you said he had the biggest.
I'm not kidding. They had the biggest dairy farm. They still do to this day.
She didn't catch on, did she? She didn't. That went right over her head. But I want to let you know, I was waiting for it. I was like, I was waiting for it, girl. And then when you said, "Oh, I went around the world," and I realized, "Oh my God, you found something bigger." Look. Sorry, I couldn't let
that was good. That was good. It did go over my head. And now I got, well, I'm blonde. Sorry. I mean, it takes me a minute to catch those jokes. So, but it was, growing up in high school and he didn't have a disability. And I forgot where I was really going with this story. I had a point and now I forgot.
Laronda, you threw her off big time on that one.
I'm sorry. I couldn't get the big out the head. I can get it out my head. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry.
Anyway, moving on. But
well, I think you answered Eric's questions.
Okay.
I think, right? I mean, Eric, don't you think she sufficiently gave you enough information?
I think we, yeah.
Yeah, I got shut down is what I got.
Poor Eric.
That's not true. It's just stating the facts. I mean, it really is. And then, since I've worked here, I find that a lot of people, this is the other thing I noticed, and I don't know if this is it's a good thing. I think it's a great thing, but a lot of people here, like some of our members or maybe some of our staff, that are married, it seems like, and if they do have a disability, that person that they're with, and correct me if I'm wrong, Laronda, but they're either married to like a person that's like a physical therapist, an occupational therapist, definitely somebody that works with somebody with disabilities and definitely understands and has that patience and has that understanding, which I also find, extremely interesting because, it's hard. It's, you gotta have, Greg will tell me all the time, like, babe, I gotta have patience sometimes with you, you're not, it takes me a little bit longer to do things. And that's just, that's just the nature of who I am. That's just the way I am. And you either love me for that or you can't, or you don't, or you're not with me. So, you accept me for who I am. And, Greg's never, that's the crazy, like Greg is not, he doesn't have any medical background. He's not a PT or an OT. Greg's a salesman and Greg's a surfer. And, so we have that. So we're really different in that, what we have in common is that we both love being active, and I think that's really what brought us together. So it is different. Like where I see all these other relationships with people around here, like they have that like kind of thing that brings them together, like, whether they're a PT or an OT or somebody in the medical field. So I feel really lucky that, I have somebody a little bit different and I get that other kind of side of life. And, when I come home and I tell him about things about work and he's like, no shit, get out of here. I can't really, that's what, like, and it's kind of cool to have that. So I really do appreciate it.
Next time, tell him it's hard out here for a pimp. That's just, well, my husband, he's like, Laronda, it's hard out here for a pimp. Give me a minute.
Yeah.
Look, give me 5 minutes. Give me 5 minutes. See, Hustle and Flow. That you gotta watch Hustle.
Oh, I love
Flow,
that movie.
I mean,
that's an awesome movie.
Yeah, it's hard out here for a pimp.
For pimp. I love that
Gotta
movie.
make the money for that rent.
Yeah. Yeah.
Told you, Shawn. Me, Eric. Shawn got that. I'm special. You got that swag.
You guys are super lucky. We can talk all day because Nick
You're
took
right,
Nick took my cleaning shift. I'm really thankful for that. I mean, I was supposed to
Okay,
clean
so
up.
good. I was,
Way to go,
I was
Nick.
wondering. Look at
Thank
me.
you,
I was
Nick.
wondering what was
Thank
going
you, Nick,
on.
so much. Laronda
We gotta
knows.
get Nick on here. We gotta
get Nick. He
Yeah.
should be
get Nick.
next.
Yeah, we gotta get Nick.
Gotta,
That'd be
we
great.
gotta get Nick on here. That would be awesome.
Yep.
Also, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Well, I know we're pushing up on an hour here, and
Mhm.
so I always like to give everybody their chance to go around the board one more time and ask something or give final thoughts. I say we start with Mr. Don Price today. Don.
Oh, well, I just want to thank Kaitlyn for coming on and being so upfront and open with us. I mean, and your enthusiasm is contagious. So I know that whoever you're working with now is probably just falling in love with the sport that you're introducing them to. So I can't wait. I've never actually watched wheelchair tennis, so I'd like to come out sometime and
Yes.
watch. And I don't know if you can do it in a power chair, but I'd give it a try.
Yes. You can do it in a power chair. You can. Yes, you can. There's a power chair. Well, there's men's, women's, and then there's the quad division. In the quad division, they have power chairs. So you can definitely play in a power chair, and you would definitely play in the quad division. And Don, we talked about a couple months ago about a fishing program that I am like still trying to get started. I would love to do, but now that summer's here, we're just gonna have to kind of wait. It's too hot. Maybe it's too hot, but we definitely need to circle back around and talk about that again.
We will. Yep. You bet. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
LaRonda.
Oh, she knows that I love her. She's a good person to know. I am so proud of her. I mean, I just can't wait to see all the things that all the great things that you're going to do, you know, in your life and for the disability community. So I'm just grateful, you know, just for that, because I mean, it shows. And you love it. So I truly appreciate you being a friend of mine and being patient with me and trying to teach a sister that can't hit a ball, you know, just being patient. So I truly appreciate, great teacher. So I truly appreciate you coming on.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Laronda. We just need to, you're so busy. I just need to get you on court. We need a couple more sessions and you will be good. You will be good, girl. I love Laronda. I love seeing you every morning that you're at the front desk. I love seeing you. You just make my day. So I'm just so happy that I get to be part of it.
Eric, Mr. Kenny Rogers himself.
First of all, you're right. I didn't have any game whatsoever when I was young.
He's still on
At
that.
all. I had none.
You could
I had none.
have played
None.
that up so good. You were a very good looking man. You could have got
Oh, you should have saw me when I was in the Olympics. I look at my pictures when I was young. Whew.
I'm gonna show you tomorrow, Kaitlyn.
Wait, you got to tell me what sport. You never told me what sport you did.
Oh, the 100-meter breaststroke.
You did tell me. You did tell me you're a swimmer.
I had the national record for 3 years, and then I broke the world record right in Atlanta, Georgia, in nationals, and then took 5th in Barcelona.
That's awesome.
So
awesome.
Yeah. So, Kaitlyn, one of the things that I really love that you came on here to talk about this, to talk about your life, and I'm really reminded of myself with some of the stuff you've gone through, because I grew up with my disability. So I know some of the dynamics you've had to go through, some of the struggles of trying to fit in. I swam on a high school swim team, and I came in last every time. Well, once in a while I beat one person or other, but most time last. And so yeah, I get it. So thank you for sharing. You've helped me to reminisce in my memories. So
yeah.
And also, when you do go to the Paralympics for the canoeing, right? Is that canoeing, kayaking? Any link that you can send to me of any actual physical like recording of your stuff? I would love to get this on this show just to say, hey, let's do a follow-up. Let's see what happened. you know,
Okay.
or we can provide people with an actual link and say, hey, this is when it's happening. Kaitlyn's going to do this and it's going to be on this time. And here's the link. So anything you can give us, that would be great.
Absolutely. I got some races from 2019 that I could definitely share with you. That's the other thing. I'm really hoping that, after doing the Paralympics here, I really want to start. I mean, we have the beautiful Tempe Town Lake right here. We got great boat storage, great facilities. It's accessible. I really want to start some kind of adaptive paddling, I want to do paddleboard. Whether it be paddleboarding, canoeing, kayaking, rowing, you name it. Like that's kind of like my next thing I really would like to start. So I didn't remember to tell you that, but yeah, I'm in Gus's ear right now. We're gonna do this. Laronda, you're getting on a boat
And going camping, no glamping.
and going camping.
You said you would. You did.
If
say
I
that.
know you go.
It's on the show.
You got me on the live podcast with my hair not done. So be grateful. Just be grateful for what you can get.
you threw me hard under the bus this time. Come on.
Oh, you know what, Eric? You know it's nothing but I got nothing but love for you, baby.
Oh, same
Nothing
here.
but love. Nothing but love.
It's hard love is
right?
what it is. It's the whole.
Okay, sorry. Okay, next time I'll go easy on you.
No, it's all good. I can take a hit.
I love you. I
Yes.
love you.
You guys are fun. We need to all definitely get some drinks, margaritas, chips and salsa.
We gotta
Mhm.
celebrate with you, Kaitlyn. We gotta.
Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah, we gotta celebrate.
Paralympics.
Oh
Here we
yeah.
come.
Heck yes, we do.
Yeah.
Please provide us with those links because those are going to be important.
Yeah,
yeah.
We want to be able to
Especially the-
support you in any way we can.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. Yeah.
Especially the upcoming one. You know, any pre-notice we can get, I'll just do a
Okay.
post and we'll do a quick post and we'll be like, hey, it's going down. Here's where she's at. Here's what's happening. Click on this link.
Okay. I will let you guys know for sure.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'll tell you, I appreciate it. I think this may be the first time we've met each other. So it was a pleasure to meet you for sure. Awesome story. Thank you for being so open. Thank you for talking candidly about many things. And I'm sure there will be a part 2 because we just have so much that we didn't get to. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
we
sure.
we flew over a lot of stuff that we want to pull back. So, but that's good. That's a good thing. You're very, very open and honest about everything, and you talk very well, and I appreciate it. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to be here with us. And yeah.
Thank you guys. Thank you, Shawn. So nice to meet you. I can't wait to meet you in person.
Yeah, I know. Hopefully I'll be able to get down there soon. I got a lot of things going on. I might have this new job coming up. So
Right on.
Oh, so it's official?
no, not yet.
Oh, I can't
He's
see
getting there. He's getting closer. It's getting closer.
Oh, I'm
Yes,
dying
whatever,
inside.
look.
Let us
Yeah.
know.
It's getting
You
closer.
gotta wait for the government to post it first, bro.
Can we tell me a little something what's going on?
Oh, I'm trying to get the job to be the executive director of all mixed martial arts and boxing in Arizona. So,
What?
Is that not epic? That is
Yeah.
epic.
Dude,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
amazing.
Yeah. He's
So
big
I
in martial
awesome.
arts.
interviewed for it a couple weeks ago, and there's been some things back and forth, but we'll see. I mean, I don't think I'm
You
gonna know
got it.
anything till after June 12th, but
That's
Mhm.
exciting, Shawn. Wow, congratulations.
Once
Me-
you get that, we're just gonna interview you on this
Yeah.
epic position of yours and be like, tell us everything.
yeah, I mean, I will be the first
Mhm.
person ever in the world with a disability to
Yeah.
have that position.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, that's history. That's history.
That's
That's so
huge.
cool.
Mhm.
Breaking
That's
ground.
right.
So awesome.
Trailblazer.
Yep, kicking down doors.
Dude,
I
Yeah.
love it.
ram that door
So
down.
we'll see though. I
Break
don't
it, burn
I
it.
don't have it. It's not in the bag yet. So let's reel it back a little bit, just a little bit.
Can't hold my excitement in. It's
I know.
pouring out of
Me
me.
either. Imagine trying to sit here and wait, just wait. with my
Yeah,
hat.
I'm sure that's got to be easy.
So, yeah, but also on that front, the UFC will be here on June 12th. If anybody is interested in mixed martial arts, I think tickets are still available. I don't know, but
That's
anyway.
awesome.
For the UFC?
Do
Oh,
the
I'm gonna
judges
go.
actually get to give free tickets to their friends? I mean,
No,
they should
don't
be
ever
able
ask
to.
me that question again.
That's awesome.
Mm.
Wow.
I was about to say something. See, Eric, I was about to say something really inappropriate, but I withheld.
Really, after all the words you let me have, you're gonna
Now
now
you're
you're gonna do
all
something
back.
inappropriate?
Yeah, right.
Right. You just wait.
I'm
I'll see
applying
you.
for a
I'll see you
government
tomorrow.
position, dude.
Right.
Oh,
I got to tone down
Mhm.
my F words, by the way.
Oh,
You know,
Jesus.
you were the light one today, Shawn.
I don't know.
I did a lot of F-bombs. I'm sorry.
It's
Yeah.
all good.
It's okay.
good.
It's okay. 'Cause,
Okay.
We're
yeah,
all human
Shawn
here.
is
We
the
haven't
F word bomb. He's a king.
They're
we
used
haven't
to it
turned
by
into PC robots yet.
The
So
great thing
we're good.
about podcasts.
now. Yeah.
It's true. You can do what you want. You can say what you want on podcasts.
That's right.
Absolutely.
That's right.
Well, look, I
People
know
know
Don's
this-
got his dinner sitting on that table.
Mhm.
I can already smell it. I can smell Don's dinner sitting on the table.
I'm ready to
Smells
eat.
good. I
And,
just,
Beef stroganoff?
go ahead.
oh, if I can just, everybody listening,
Get it.
all over the world, all your amazing listeners, just if you're in the Phoenix area and you want to play wheelchair tennis, please, 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 please contact me, Katlyn Verfuerth. Come to Ability 360. I will be here. You can find me there. Let's play some tennis. I'd love to get anybody and everybody on the court.
Yeah, I mean that's
Yeah.
something that we were gonna talk to you about right now. Is on the way out.
Sorry.
You
Jump the
can
gun.
give anything to Eric, and then underneath of this, he will post all of your social medias or whatever your links to anything you want. We
Okay.
would be happy to shamelessly plug you at any opportunity. we get.
Awesome. Okay, cool. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah, hopefully we get part 2 soon. I know that this one there's a lot more I want to talk to you about at least. So let's get it. Let's get part 2 soon.
Sounds good. I'm starting a wheelchair tennis academy. That's what I'm.
Let's do
Here
it.
we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it.
Right on.
I like
Thank you guys.
I like the hustle you got, man. That for me, that's big time. I love it. It's
Thank
great.
you.
So
Thank you.
anyways, all right, everybody. Katlyn Verfuerth.
That's great. Verfuerth. That's perfect. You did it perfect.
Burfer.
Just mumble a little bit. So yeah. Anyway, everybody, the great and powerful Katlyn Verfuerth. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you
you.
guys.
Yay.
Until next time. Peace.
Go hit some fuzzy balls.
Hey.